Day to Remember was formed in 2003 in Ocala, Florida by Jeremy McKinnon, Neil Westfall, Tom Denny, Joshua Woodard, and Bobby Scruggs. A Day to Remember is best known for their mixture of pop punk and metal. It sounds odd, but works real well. The band has 6 major studio albums, some EPs, and other singles under their belt, each with their own unique style. This band really hasn't been put in popular media, say apart from DLC for Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Without further ado, let's analyze what makes this band unique and different from other metalcore bands. As mentioned before, A Day to Remember mixes pop punk and metal for most of their songs, but they do have songs that sway more towards pop punk or sway more towards metal. Not to mention, they do have some modern day punk music too. Heavily tuned guitars, double bass pedals, and McKinnon's use of pitched pop punk vocals and unpitched metal vocals are used to create their sound and make sure they stand out from the rest. Whenever A Day to Remember leans more towards metal, the instrumentation is a lot heavier. The guitar, bass, and drums really give their impact, and McKinnon really knows how to use his metal vocals. Whenever A Day to Remember leans more towards pop punk or just punk, the instrumentation can still be pretty mean, but McKinnon really lightens things up with his pitch vocals. Whatever the mixture may be, the band knows how to eloquently combine these genres. There's something about the way McKinnon uses his vocals and the transitions from metal sections that really work.
So now you know exactly what it feels like to be not secretly in my way.
Released on January 22nd, 2007, For Those Who Have Heart was A Day to Remember's first major step in making a name for themselves and showing the world their unique sound. For the most part, this album is pretty good. McKinnon has great pitch vocals and knows how to change the mood by showing how deep his voice can go. The instrumentation is really energetic and really fits well with the vocals. In terms of lyrics, McKinnon sings about his life, the journey he had with the band, and other relationships. The songs go from adrenaline-pumping, fist-raising metal sections to softer choruses to grace and pacing, and to change the mood, tone, and emotion. The biggest thing holding this album back is it feels kind of unpolished. This was A Day to Remember's first major album, so it makes sense for it to be a bit sloppy. Regardless, some of McKinnon's unpitched vocals sound odd, like he's trying too hard, or he doesn't fully understand how to manipulate his throat. This isn't much of a problem, but it creates a huge contrast with his other unpitched vocals that actually sound pretty smooth. It's not like it takes a huge hit on the album's quality. Anyways, my favorite songs were Here's to the Past,
Turning back from here, I got to get away from everyone who's left.
The Danger in Starting a Fire,
So now you know exactly what it feels like to be not secretly in my way.
Heartless,
The world is bad for you. Now it's time to choose.
and Monument.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen in a van on a soapbox for the world to see. Miles away.
Released on February 3rd, 2009, Homesick refines the sound from the last album, so it works better as a mix of pop punk and metal. For Those Who Have Heart swayed a bit more towards punk and metal, but Homesick balances it better so that there isn't more metal than pop punk. Anyways, Homesick feels more energetic and personal than the last album. The instrumentation is better, and McKinnon's vocals, both pitched and unpitched, have more polish. The lyrics of this album are more varied this time. McKinnon wrote about touring, songwriting, and of course, relationships and friendships. Homesick is the first A Day to Remember album to have features from other metal artists, including Mike Haranica from The Devil Wears Prada and Vincent Bennett from the Acacia Strain. This album has more melodies than For Those Who Have Heart, thanks to the more present pop punk. It works quite well when the metal fades in and when the metal fades out. Anyways, my favorite songs were My Life for Hire, Mr. Highway's Thinking About the End, Holding It Down for the Underground, and another song about the weekend.
I hate this town, it's so washed up, and all my friends don't give a fuck. They'll tell me that it's just bad luck. When will I find where I fit in?
Released on November 15, 2012, What Separates Me From You is heavier than previous albums with more metal sections. This album can be really aggressive at times, with McKinnon screaming his lungs out, and the instrumentation taking it to the next level. Of course, the pop-punk sections are also pretty good, but also feel darker in comparison to previous albums. McKinnon mentioned that What Separates Me From You felt a lot more personal and darker than Homesick, and this album was the next natural step in what they were doing as a band. The darker nature shows with the lyrics. They're more pessimistic and mature. This is probably my favorite album. The energy is practically unmatched, and knows when to get real heavy and when to switch to punk. Anyways, my favorite songs were Sticks and Bricks, This Is the House That Doubt Built,
Get me started on one. It needs to be alright. You're lying to yourself, and that still you act surprised 'cause you're scared.
Second Sucks,
To my chest, I lay my life on the line, so I expect nothing less from you. I hate the truth, and everybody else knows it. Turning out to the side and just get the fuck over it.
and You'll Be Tails, I'll Be Sonic.
You killed what was left of the good in me. I'm tired, so let me be broken. Get down in the mess, it's in front of me. No other words need be spoken.
Released on October 8th, 2013, Common Courtesy still has its metal sections, but seems to lean more towards pop punk. Common Courtesy has some really personal tunes this time. The emotion really seeps out of this album. McKinnon wrote a lot about the journey of being with the band, looking back at the past, and reflecting on where he came from. The last song, called I Remember, even includes an outro where the band members go on about memorable things that happened to them touring as a day to remember. This is probably the band's most varied album. Each song has its own sound. It's very creative and different in a way so that it creates a unique experience but keeps the A Day to Remember sound. My favorite songs were Right Back at It Again, Sometimes You're the Hammer, Sometimes You're the Nail, Best of Me,
Expect from me.
Life at 11.
What a waste, I see you now and then, but mostly we pretend we're not strangers and we're friends.
Released on September 2nd, 2016, Bad Vibrations is still a mixture of pop punk and metalcore, but it feels more like it has pop punk and metalcore songs, rather than songs that are a mixture of the two genres. It's still a good album. The metal parts and pop punk sections are pretty damn good, but feel too separated to consider a combination. The lyrics have also changed. McKinnon sings about more general topics, rather than personal things, with negativity being a big motif of this album, even being reflected in the instrumentation. It's even darker than what separates me from you. The negativity really makes this album feel a lot different from the previous ones. Anyways, my favorite songs were Exposed, Justified, Turn Off the Radio, and In Florida. Released on March 5th, 2021, You're Welcome leans a lot more towards pop punk and a softer kind of rock. It doesn't really sound like A Day to Remember. I don't necessarily dislike when bands deviate a little too much from what they were known for, but You're Welcome, in my opinion, is uninspired. It doesn't have much to offer. When I hear A Day to Remember, I want that combination of metalcore and pop punk, and this album really doesn't deliver on the metal aspect. It doesn't feel like A Day to Remember at all. None of the vocals or instrumentation matches with the previous albums. Because I'm not a fan of this album, I'm not even going to list my favorite songs. I don't have any. So let's just skip this section.
Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend.
A Day to Remember has their fair share of extra content. Let's start with their first EP, Halos for Heroes, Dirt for the Dead. Released somewhere in 2004, this EP is unlike anything A Day to Remember released. It's a compilation of mostly acoustic songs with punk and McKinnon's unpitched vocals thrown in. It's slow-paced and missing a lot of the metal the band is known for. Next, there's In Their Name Was Treason, released on May 10, 2005. This album sounds a lot more like A Day to Remember's sound. It's pretty much a messier, more juvenile version of For Those Who Have Heart. It does have the superior version of You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance too, so that's definitely a plus. This album was later re-released as Old Record in 2008, with a different track list, and some of the song names changed. Other than that, there's the Attack of the Killer B-sides, which is B-sides from albums What Separates Me From You and everything before that. The 4 songs it has are pretty good. It includes 2 covers, Since You've Been Gone and Cable Car, Over My Head, which the band melted in really well with their sound. Other than their music, We also have webisodes that were released on the internet to promote the release of certain albums, such as Common Courtesy and You're Welcome. These webisodes entail the process of making those albums, some personal stories from the band members, and some touring stuff. Other than that, I don't recall any other Day to Remember miscellaneous stuff.
They're kind of going out of the box, but still like keeping it heavy and keeping it a day to remember.
So basically, we're putting the dream team back together.
A Day to Remember created a unique mix of pop punk and metalcore, and have, for the most part, executed it amazingly. Their first 5 albums are some pretty good stuff, and a treat for metalheads and fans of punk and rock genres. The band's music isn't really hard to get into, and for that reason, I won't be creating a flowchart for them. Start with either Homesick or What Separates Me From You, and listen to the rest. Except for You're Welcome, of course. And until next time, I'll let the band play themselves out.